This is SDR News and Geekazine.com's coverage of NAB.
Hi, this is Andy McCaskey from SDR News. We're here at NAB. We're going to learn a little bit about HP StoreAll, particularly from the perspective of a mid-market broadcaster or a production house that might be located in a medium to large city in the U.S.
Yeah, so StoreAll storage is HP's scale-out file and object storage. So what we have is a system that you can start small and grow it up to 16 petabytes of storage within a single namespace. So it really provides the flexibility for those mid-market up to the enterprise to start at an entry level and then add appliances to the cluster, so you can actually scale out, add compute resources as well as capacity resources linearly.
Are we at the start small size right here, what we see in this rack?
So this right here, what you're seeing here is a couple HA compute nodes with shared storage. So this could be your entry point, and then down here you have a 9730. This is our bladed system, and this is really for half a petabyte and larger. So this enables you to have a pair of HA compute nodes running the StoreAll operating system with shared storage. And these are really dense. There's 70 drives in this one tray. It can support 2 and 3 terabyte drives, so 140 terabytes or 210 terabytes in a single turnkey appliance. And then you can add compute nodes, so 2 more HA compute nodes as well as a tray of storage. So start adding those systems linearly. You can fill that up into 1.7 petabytes in a single system and then add additional appliances to the cluster. So in a single system you can have 1.7, but then you can continue to add to that cluster up to 16 petabytes and have the ability to tier your data from a performance node to a more capacity-oriented node.
Is that the biggest challenge that a broadcaster or a mid-market production house might have in measuring and managing their capacity?
Well, I think the value in their business is their digital assets, right? So they need to keep them around, they need to repurpose them, they need to use them throughout their workflow so that they can, to service their clients, for new revenue generating opportunities. So the ability to have a performant ingest here as well as keep that storage, those digital assets around economically for a long period of time helps them repurpose those assets very quickly, like you said, at a low cost point. For their business.
Yeah, and not only being able to repurpose them, but being able to find them, which is something that came out of HP Labs recently.
Indeed, yeah. So in December we announced Express Query. So Express Query is basically a metadata database that's tightly integrated into the system, and that helps very fast, scalable search. So instead of a traditional search walking the file system, you can actually run a query on the database and actually add custom metadata tags so that really means something to that workflow. So you can tag it with content with tags that actually have meaning to the particular workflow, whether it's a company name, whether it's a scene, or whether it's something within the scene. That you can search on that. That came out of our HP Labs technology, and Lincoln here is one of our chief architects on that technology.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Chris, for giving us an idea of the hardware. Lincoln, if you can step in here, we can chat a little bit. I remember at HP Discover there in Frankfurt that, I think I recall being able to search like 500 million records in a quarter of a second. Some just fantastic speed. Do I have that right?
Yes, that's one of the benchmarks that we did. So 500 million files, and the key to that is having a metadata database that you can query quickly. Another advantage of that, though, is not just that you have a database, because anyone can set up a metadata database, walk the file system, and then collect that information over time. But this is an embedded database in the StoreAll appliance. So that means that as file system changes are happening, the kernel itself will create events that are then ingested into the database in the data path. So you don't have to occasionally poll the file system and pull this into a sideband database. It's all integrated into the StoreAll appliance.
Okay, so from a broadcaster's perspective or for production house perspective, how does this translate into a business advantage?
Right, well, all of these media companies that we've been talking to have so many assets, but it's in addition to storing all the files, finding what you need out of all these files. So they may need to find things like files that are older than a certain time, last modified, or owned by a certain user, or have other custom metadata tags that they want to apply based on their video editing, or just being able to find it by customers. So you can apply custom metadata, any kind of string key value pairs that you want to assign, and you can assign those to the files, directories, anything you want of your assets. And then those are ingested into the same Express query database that's also capturing all this system metadata.
So the innovation from an HP standpoint was being able to attach this to the storage hardware itself, right?
Yes, as part of the overall file system. And the database is stored with the file system, so if you back up a given file system, you're also backing up the data files of the Express query database, so you can restore it all intact, not have to regenerate your database. And then you can go back to querying and adding more custom metadata as you go, and it grows with the file system. So that you don't have to continuously scan the file system to find metadata like you would, say, with a find command.
So where can people go to find more information about HP StoreAll and Express Query?
We have links on the web. You can go to hp.com/storeall, and that takes you to our landing page, and there's lots of information there. And you can contact any of us. Chris Duffy, who you just talked to, is our product manager, so he's a great contact and can tell you more about it.
And of course, following the HP storage guy, Calvin Zito. Yes, indeed. So, thanks very much. First day of NAB. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's immense. I had no idea that there was so much to show that could fill up 4 exhibit halls with just media and entertainment companies and all the products they're doing. But we've had a good interest here.
So, storage is a growth business.
Yes, it's definitely a healthy business.
It is indeed. Okay, thanks for joining us. Thank you for watching here. This is Andy McCaskey from SDR News.